right? So here, these are the directives which are directing the CPU, that is the ALU, the processor, in what way the data and the memory is accessed. Okay, how it is going to be accessed. So for that, we have only few directives are there. Some importance are being given up here. So the first one is right. So the first one is the equate directive. Okay, equate directive is basically used to replace a number by a symbol. Simple explanation of this equate is whenever any number is being called, then that number, that is a symbol, is going to be represented instead of that number. That is only the thing. It means we are giving a name to the to one of the number. We are giving a name to one of the number, and that name is going to be a constant number. So if I want to assign a constant number to any of the name, to any of the label, then EQU is utilized. EQU stands for equate. EQU stands for equate. Okay, equating a number to a label, where whenever I call a label, in the place of the label, the number is going to be present. Okay, so the example, the syntax for that is, first we should write the name, first we should write the label, then we should write the EQU, and then a constant number, whatever the number we want to assign for this name, we can write that name, that number. Okay, say for an example, here it is been given up here, maximum EQU 99. Okay, so what will happen? Maximum is a name. So whenever I utilize the maximum name, then in the place of maximum, the 99 will be present, but 99 will be hidden. Okay, so maximum will be shown as a representative for the number 99, maximum. Okay, so after using this directive, so it's been written up here, after using this directive, every appearance of the label, that is whenever I write maximum, appearance of the label maximum in the program, that is going to be interpreted by an assembler as a number 99. Okay, so it is telling the assembler, directive is basically telling the assembler what actually the data it is. Okay, so whether it is a constant number, whether it is a symbol, so that is going to be treated, how it is going to be treated. So in that, EQU is one of the directive which is telling the assembler that the number, the label is representing the number, a constant number. Okay, so so whenever a maximum is being called, maximum is nothing but a 99. So whatever the number I can assign here, I can assign a decimal number as well as I can assign a hexadecimal number also. Okay, and the name also I can give any name, but that should not have any space. That should not have any space. So symbols may be defined this way only once in the program, right? So at how many number of constant numbers I want, I can write them, but only in the beginning of the program. Only in the beginning or at the end I can write it at anywhere. But the thing is, only one time I can write this equate directive. I can utilize equate directive. Okay. So basically it is written beginning of the program. In the beginning only the equate directive is utilized. It is just to assign a constant number to a particular or to a label or a name. Then bit directive, bit directive. Okay. So what happens here? Already we have some of the bit addressable memory, as well as bit accessible registers. Say for an example, I have a bit addressable register PSW. Not only PSW, I have whatever the ports are there, no? P0, P1, P2, P3, all those are bit addressable. Not only these, again in the special function register, whatever the special function registers are there, all those registers are bit addressable. So now the bit directive. Okay, so basically whenever as I told, I have so many number of special function registers who are bit addressable. Okay, say for example PSW is being given up here. You can refer the special function register, that is from ATH to not from ATH, FF 100. So from 100H to 1FFH. Okay, so you can refer those that memory location where we will get so many special function registers. Okay, so here bit directive is basically used to replace a bit address into a symbol. Okay, so that bit address must be in the range of 0 to 255. So basically what we have, our RAM is from 0 to 7FH. Okay, so it is not a 100, it is from ATH to FFH. Okay, ATH to FFH. So from 00H up to FFH, whatever the special function registers comes, which are bit addressable. Even I have from 20H to I think from 20H to 30H, sorry, 2FH, 202 2F, which are also a bit addressable memory locations. So I can give a particular name to a particular bit, a single bit. Okay, say for an example. So what is the syntax? First I have to write the label, the name, and then I have to write the bit, and whatever the bit, a single bit, what I want to give it a name, that I can write here. Say for an example, transmit. Transmit is a label here, a name. Okay, I am assigning a transmit name to a single bit. What is that bit? PSW.7. What is PSW.7? What is PSW? PSW is a program status word. Okay, program status word register. Because what are the things in the PSW? There are flags present in PSW, correct? What is a seventh bit? What is PSW.7 refers to? Which flag? Who can answer me? What is the flag of PSW 0.7? No reply. It is CY flag. Carry flag. Yes or no? No? Can't remember? See, practice is must. You should know all the registers and their functions. Okay. So we have a carry flag CY in the bit of PSW 7. So that single bit, that is carry flag, will be having another name here, transmit. Okay, so whenever I use transmit, then whenever I call transmit name, then it is going to be actually the carry flag. Okay, so transmit bit, that is the 7th bit in PSW register, is assigned to the name. Then say one more example is there here. Transmit output bit. So this is one complete name here. Transmit. Okay, sorry. Okay, is assigned the name transmit. Then output. Okay, this is separate example. Output is a label. Bit is a directive. 6 is the bit address. Okay, so what will happen? The bit at the address 06 will be given the name as output. The bit 6 will work as, what is bit 6? From where the 06 bit address will is accessed? That is from 20H. Because bit addressable memory, which is a bit addressable memory? From 20H to 2FH. Okay, so 20H is having 20.0, 20.1, 20.2, 20.3, 20.4, 20.5, 20.6. So the bit 6 is going to be given a name, called by a name, output. Okay, then there is one more example here. Relay is a name, bit is a single, that is a directive, bit directive, and then 81. Okay, so 81 is a bit address that is going to be assigned with a name relay. Okay, so basically the bit address 81 is port 0. Okay, port 0.1 is the port 0.1 is having the address 81. Okay, so that is going to be assigned with the name of relay. Then code directive. So basically this directive is used to give a symbol to a memory location for the program memory. So see that I can specify a particular memory, the starting memory, as a code memory or into a program memory, so that from that position, the ALU is going to execute the code. Say for an example here, see that basically I have 4 kilobytes to 64 kilobytes. Okay, I have what is a ROM? ROM is going to be a program memory. Okay, from that ROM, I can assign a symbol to a memory address, a particular memory address, by using this code directive, right? So basically, okay, that address is going to be from 0 to 65535. 65535 is nothing but 64 KB. That is from 0000H to FFFFH. Total 64 kilobytes. So what is going to be the address syntax here? First, I have to write the name. Then I have to write CODE code, and then I have to write the code address here. So whatever the address I am going to give here, that address is going to have the name what I am providing here. Say for an example, reset is a name, code is the code directive, 0 is the memory location, that is 00H. So 00H is given a name called as reset. Okay, so from that the code begins. From this, so whenever I call reset, then the code from 00H that is going to be fetched. Then table, this is separate example, table code 1024H. Okay, so 1024H, it is been, okay, it is in decimal, either it is maybe in the decimal number or it may be in the hexadecimal number. I have to specify it here. If I don't specify H, then it will be considered as a decimal number. Okay, so here the memory location 1024H, now I will consider it as a hexadecimal number. So the 1024H hexadecimal number, this address is given a name that is called as a table. Okay, in the program memory, I am giving a name in the program memory here, not in the RAM, only in the ROM. In the RAM, I am going to utilize bit here. Okay, say a bit directive where a particular bit, single bit is going to be assigned with the name in the RAM. Okay, equate is also it is a constant number, assigning a constant number to a particular name. Then code is which is assigning a memory address, a name in the program memory, not in the data memory. Okay, then data directive is there, which is used to assign the name to a memory address, in the RAM. So that is, the RAM is now a data memory. Okay, so we call it as usual. We know that the RAM is called as a data memory and the ROM is called as the program memory. So now here it is similar to a code, but instead of a ROM, program memory, we are going to use a data memory. So the data address, wherever the data is stored, that data address is going to be given a name by using this data directive. Okay, so within the internal RAM and SFR also. So SFR RAM is from 0 to 7F, 80 to FFH is SFR. Okay, so some examples are there. Temp 12, data 32. So the address 32H is named as temp 12. Okay, status underscore R. See, there is no space between the name. We should not give any space between the names. Status underscore R, data D0H. So basically D0H is the address for PSW. So now instead of a PSW.0, I can write status underscore R 0.0, status underscore R 0.1, 0.2, like this. Instead of PSW.0, PSW.1, like that. Okay. Then I have org directive. Okay, so this is telling to the assembler. So what in what way the assembler have to work upon? Okay, directing to the assembler. Org directive is basically used to specify the location of the program memory. Okay, to from where it has to start, from where the program has to start, where the program following directive is to be placed. Okay, so it is a origin. Org stands for origin. Org stands for origin, where it is specifying the location in the program memory, from where the program have to start, from where the program have to start. Okay, say, okay, this is going to be the syntax. Org address I have to write here. Then, for an example, beginning, okay, I may write beginning, or if I don't write the name here, it is enough. Org 100H or org 100, whether it may be a decimal number or it may be a hexadecimal number. I will consider it as an hexadecimal number, or it can be org 100H table, any name. So this program, so whenever I write org, the program starting address is going to be that address 100. The first instruction is going to be stored into the 100H memory location. Okay, if I write 1024 here, then org 21H, say I have written org 1021H, then the starting instruction, the program is going to be starting from 1021H. 1021H. Okay, so that is going to be the beginning address of that program. If I write one program of 100 lines, then that program is going to be stored onto the memory. Okay, stored onto the program memory. No. So from where it has to store? What is the address from where it has to store? That beginning address is given by this org. So in every program, before starting any of the program, I have to give org. I have to utilize this org directive. Okay. Either it may be a instruction or it may be a data. Table containing data is to be stored at the memory location 1024H for this example. Okay. Then end directive. End directive. So this is going to end the program. Okay, basically it is used to end the program. At every program, I have to write this end directive at the end of the program. Okay, after the last instruction, I have to write end directive, so that whenever assembler finds the end directive, end symbol, then it will not process any symbol, any instruction after the end directive. Okay, it is so simple. Just end has to be written at the end of the program, at the final, after the final instruction, after the last instruction, I have to write the end directive. So where assembler will stop compiling once the program encounters this directive. Okay, it is used to end the program. Whatever I write after end, that will not be compiled, that will not be linked or converted into any of the machine decoded. then DB directive. Okay, so DB stands for data byte. DB stands for data byte directive. So basically, I don't have only DB here. I have different data sizes, which is going to tell what is the size of the data. D stands for data and B stands for the size. What is the size of the data? It is a byte size. So to tell that, I have DB. Say if I am using a double word, say I can write DW, which stands for data word size. Data with a word size. Then I can write DD, data with double word. Data with double word. Then DQ, quad word. Data with quad word. And then the data size is going to be DT. Now, these are the directives which are used to write a specific value into the program memory. Okay, so into the program memory, whatever the data I am writing, that value, that size is going to be notified by using these many number of directives. Okay, so if several values are specified, then they are separated by a comma. That we will see. For example, here we will see CSEG. This is a name. CSEG is a name, starting name. Say for an example, you peoples might know about array, right? Array is what? A group of numbers, correct? So here also a group of numbers are going to be assigned to one of the name by using this directives DB, DW, DD, DQ, DT. I will tell you what is the meaning of this all directives. So what will happen? CSEG is a name which is going to store a number of multiple numbers, okay, with the size of data byte size. If I am specifying DB, CSEG is going to have a byte size data always. CSEG starting location 22H. Then after that it will be incremented. Then 33H will be stored into CSEG1. CSEG 0 location, CSEG 1 location. But the data size is going to be byte size. Say alarm 44, comma is been written here, comma again it is been written. Alarm is also written. Now alarm, when it is now this is going to be an ASCII array, ASCII value, ASCII symbols. So A is going to be stored into CSEG 2. L is CSEG 3, CSEG 4, CSEG 5, CSEG 6. 44 is stored into CSEG 7. Okay. Is it been understood? It is an array. Now, what is DW? DW is data word. Data word stands for 16 bits. That means 2 bytes. A DB stands for a single byte. DW stands for 2 bytes, double byte. Okay. Then if I write DW here, I can write 21, 21, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, H. Okay, so like this. So now this is going to be a 16-bit data. So DW stands for 16-bit data. Then DD stands for double word. Double word, what is double word now? 22, 23, Nida. Okay, so 22, 23 or 33, this is a data. You know array, right? This data is going to be stored into CSEG label into a particular memory location. This is the data, not the memory location. CSEG is going to have one memory location starting from 0 or whatever the specified address is going to be specified to this CSEG, and that is going to have a byte size data. And that data is going to be 22, 33, A, L, A, R, M, 44. For example, it may be anything. This is going to be the data, but that data should be a byte size because I am using DB. Okay. Then DW stands for 16 bits, 2 bytes, 2 byte of the data. So as for example, I have written here 21, 22, H, 1, 2, 3, 4, H. So this is going to be a data with the 16-bit wide, 16-bit size. Then double word, DW stands for double word. Double word stands for multiple of this 2. So it is going to be 4 bytes. Total 32 bits. 4 bytes. Okay. DD stands for 4 bytes. So what I can write here? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is complete one data. This is complete one data. So whenever DD is being written up here, and if I access CS is 0, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to be accessed. Complete one data. Then if I write DQ, DQ stands for quad word. Quad word stands for total, double. That means, quad word stands for 2 into 4. So total 8 bytes. So I have to provide 8 byte data to a label, to a array. Then DT stands for 10 bytes. So total DT, 10 bytes. T stands for 10 bytes. So the byte data, data size is going to be 10 byte size. Okay, so whatever the name I am giving here, that is going to be the array. I am creating an array here. You know what is array, correct? So soon after closing this session, please rejoin. Okay, I will take the attendance. Twenty students are there. Please everyone join soon after completion of this class.